Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Joko Sipeliti. I make content on motherhood, lifestyle, baby, beauty, all of those great stuff. And on all my socials, you can follow me on Joko Sipeliti, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. That's me, all right. And today I bring you my baby product regrets. Okay. So these are products that we bought, and for us personally as a family, we just felt like we didn't need these because they either weren't practical or we just didn't use them as much as we thought we would. Okay. So without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, as always, I have a list. I have my trusted notebook that has everything I need written in it. So you'll just see pictures popping up here on the side just to make things easier. Okay, number one has to be a manual breast pump. Okay, don't come for me if that worked for you, but it just didn't work for me. My wrists could they suffered the most because literally whatever hand you're using gets so tired and the wrist action is just so much. I also didn't use it as much because it was just so much effort. It felt like pumping took forever because if I'm going to sit for 30 minutes pumping and then pumping on the other side, I felt it. So I hardly used my manual breast pump. For me, it just didn't work. It was a lot of work on top of everything else that I had to do for baby. So the alternative, which I was able to get for my last baby, was an electric, single electric breast pump, which is a great alternative. I mean, you have your cheaper ranges like your Snookums, which is what I used. Don't have to get anything too fancy. As long as it gets the job done, then you are golden. So if you can't afford like the proper double, Spectra, Medela, all of that fancy stuff, just get a single brace either at Clicks or Snookums or whatever brand. They work. Those are best. And it's less work on your hands and wrists. Okay. The next one has to be a bottle of food warmer. Oh, the effort of getting up at night and putting that thing on and then waiting for it to get warm. And then there's load shedding. Then you just like, why do I even have this? Okay, if you're not from South Africa and you don't know what load shedding is like we have certain times where our electricity goes off and we're in the dark for a couple of hours every day. Could be 2 to 3 times a day. For us in Port Elizabeth, it's 2-hour intervals. Johannesburg and East London can be 4 to 5-hour intervals. Yeah. So just didn't make sense. I don't even know what happened to it. I don't even know where it is. Like we used it a couple of times and we're like, this is just so much effort. So for us personally, it just didn't work. Even when baby was eating food, I don't ever think I ever thought, ooh, let me use a bottle warmer to warm it up. You know what I mean? So my alternative was good old flask at night, which I spoke about in my previous video, or as well as using your kettle, like how we used to do it back before all these fancy stuff were. Or like me, I was breastfeeding. So the bottle warmer didn't even make sense for me because I literally had milk on demand. And if I didn't want to breastfeed, I would pump and then have the bottle ready for when baby needed to feed and my husband would feed at night. So on demand breastfeeding also worked for me, or breastfeeding, so as like I said, the flask alternative for me is what made sense and what really worked. Okay. The next one which is a travel bottle warmer. Oh, guys, this scam. Guys, this scam. And in the sense that it never actually like kept the bottles warm. What was the point? What was the point? I was so excited, got the bottles ready, put everything in. Literally 5 minutes to the mall because we are so close to the mall. You can literally walk there. 5-minute drive to the mall. Get to the mall. Get bottle out. Cold as ice. First of all, it's so bulky and it's so big, and for it to not actually serve its purpose, I just didn't get it. So for me, that was literally a waste. I bought it for my first, and I used it twice, and that was it. Never used it again. Like I said, my alternative for that is I would either use a flask, take a flask of warm water with me, and take care of the bottle there wherever it is. breastfeed or breastfeed on demand. Get to wherever we need to be, like pump there so the bottle is ready and warm for baby, or use the flask water to warm it up. Like literally the flask was my friend. So that travel bottle warmer that's so bulky that takes up all the space in the world in the bag, didn't need it. Did not need it. And it was so cute. I was really sad that it didn't work out for us, you know. Number 4, that microwave bottle sterilizer. When you're a new mom, you literally are concerned about everything. So in your head, you feel like every single time after every feed, that bottle has to be washed, whatever, with soap and everything else. Then you put it into the sterilizer and then you sterilize for, girl, I promise you, I give you 2 weeks, 3 weeks straight, and you're already over that. Like, it's too much work. It's too much work. You have to take apart every single thing. It just is not practical, especially if you're alone with baby and you have so much that you need to do. Third of all, just washing the bottle as normal really is not going to hurt your baby. The same way you take care of all your other stuff, I literally would have a separate sponge, a separate bottle cleaner, and I know that I only use those things for my baby with warm water, golden, you can use that bottle again. That thing is so bulky, takes up so much space, hardly ever used it, and it kind of just sitting around even now, waiting for one of my friends to fall pregnant so I can gift them with them. I'm kidding, I won't do that. But like what I'm trying to say is it's not a need. You don't need it. You and baby will be okay without it. So that didn't work for us. Okay. Next point, number 5, bulky co-sleeper. This actually comes from a friend of mine. She gave me this tip. So they bought a big co-sleeper for baby to sleep in. Understandably so, some people's partners or even yourself, you know that you are kind of like a ninja when you're sleeping and you need to be controlled. And having a barrier between you and baby is like the best alternative. I'm all for that. But a huge bulky co-sleeper doesn't make sense. Firstly, they had to like sleep on the side of the beds because it took up so much space in the middle. Turning was uncomfortable, sleeping was uncomfortable for both parties. So for the parents, so it didn't make sense. So yeah, those things are really cute. They look really good. You know, those sellers will sell it to you and make it look like you need this. You don't. Like I said, with my husband and I, we slept with baby in between us. We didn't have an issue. My husband literally sleeps like this in one position the whole night. And for me, I sleep on my side. So I roll over to one side or to the other side, or I sleep on my stomach. Like, and I'm such a light sleeper. Any little thing wakes me up. So I knew that I feel safe baby being in between us at night. But as an alternative, I also got a sleep positioner that we put in the middle for like days if my husband really worked out hard and he had like an intense gym session and he was just so tired and wiped out and didn't trust himself at night. That worked for us. So just getting something smaller and just being aware of the space, even if you have a big bed. I mean, we have queen and kings. Like, it still is a lot if you have a huge thing in the middle. But having a sleep positioner, it's so small and so good. It literally worked for us. Okay. Number 6, mittens. Yo, you don't need mittens, please. Like, this is one of the points where I feel like other points y'all can fight me in the comments. You know, some of you can be like, no, that worked for me. No, mittens. No ways. Mittens are literally the most useless thing ever I've ever had to buy for a baby. It just doesn't even make sense. One, they get lost. Like, they get lost and you just don't even know like where the pairs are. 2, baby outgrows those. Also, I'm just very against having my child with their hands like fisted like this. I want my child to explore, to touch, to, you know what I mean? Just be human. So I only used mittens in the hospital because they kind of come out with long nails and they scratch themselves brutally. And I know this is bad. I have 3 kids, but my husband does the nail cutting. Like, he is a pro. He's good. He's careful. He doesn't nick anyone. I've always been nervous. So I knew that in the hospital, he wasn't there, especially during COVID and things like that, where I was alone. So I was like, psh, I bought mittens, used them in the hospital, never used them again. Literally, they're useless. I just don't see the point of mittens. So yeah, that didn't work for us. Alternative is using baby socks. Literally, you can. The nice thing about baby socks is they kind of need them for their feet, but you can also use them for their hands. They don't really walk or crawl or get dirty or anything like that. So literally, you can have two types of like ways to use it using one product, which is golden for me. So that worked for me. Like I said, only in hospital, because once they're home, I don't allow my kids to have their hands like, you know, fisted and with something over them. I need them to explore and feel from a young age so they know. Okay. Number 7, baby shoes. They are so cute and so irresistible. Like, especially when you're going through that nesting phase and you're shopping for baby and you look at outfits and you're like, oh, this makes sense. Guys, they're just not practical. They don't even make sense. Like, what is the point? They don't need them. They don't even use them. The only thing that those things are cute or useful for is literally pictures, then you take them off. So yeah, baby shoes are, your baby doesn't need shoes. At newborn, like, before they even walk, they don't need shoes. They're just there for the vibes. Like, if you don't have enough coin, don't waste it on baby shoes. Okay. And also they just always fall off. Because, like, again, baby is the stage where they like kind of kick their feet and then it's just like, again, what's the point? So yeah, I don't even have an alternative for it because babies just don't need shoes, in my opinion. Okay, in my opinion. Next point, number 8, the baby care kit. It really looks good. Like, the packaging just, it sells you. But to be honest, the only thing I used from the baby care kit was the nail clipper. Everything else I didn't use. One, the thermometer was just flimsy and kind of thug. It didn't really work well, you know. The brushes and combs were so small that, first of all, the brush didn't even make sense with my baby's hair. The brush, I don't know what that's for. The comb was kind of awkward. So, and like, I didn't comb my baby's hair from a young age. You get what I'm saying? So even when my baby came to a stage where I was combing her hair, that thing was so small, I didn't even know how to use it. Because also, my baby has natural, you know, black hair. So for me, it just, I don't know, guys. It just didn't make sense for me. I didn't use any of those stuff there. My alternative would be to buy a proper long-term thermometer that you're going to use not just from baby, but all throughout the house for anyone who needs it. A baby sucker if you need one. A proper one that actually gets the job done. As well as brushes, like normal combs or brushes that you use. Just get one for baby if you don't want to share, you know, your hair stuff with her hair stuff, depending on whatever your situation is. I mean, I found like that worked for me. But getting that whole care kit thing that's so expensive and then not using like hardly any of those things, it just didn't make sense for me. It just didn't. So yeah. Next point, number 9, a nappy bin. Okay. Some people might disagree with me, but we never found the use of a nappy bin. It is so cute, like I said. It looks so good. It just adds to the overall aesthetic of babies here. One, those refillable refused don bags are so expensive. Like, it didn't make sense. Secondly, I already had like a bin in the bathroom to begin with, right? So what happened is that we just kept using the bin that was in the bathroom anyway, because it was just so easy to, you know, take out the black bag, take where it needs to be, and just refill the normal municipality black bags, the ones we get for free, or the ones we get for like $20 at the robots and you get 50, those ones. So for us to do the whole take out the ring and it was just a lot. So it's still sitting in my bathroom to this day, unused. And I'm just like, why did we get this? So for me, nappy bin just, it didn't serve its purpose. You don't need it. If you have a normal bin in your bathroom, you're good, man. Like, this is the one that we use and we're happy. Like, we've never needed to use the baby nappy bin. Okay. Number 10, short blankets and too many receiving blankets. Okay. So obviously when baby is small, it's just nice to have the blanket that's, you know, covers them. But guys, if you get those small blankets, they outgrow them so fast to the point where, like, when you need to use it when they're a bit older, then they kind of just don't even cover their feet or don't cover their head. Okay. And so for me, I'd like get a long blanket from the word go that you can just maybe fold up if it's too big so that it grows with baby, so you're not continuously buying blankets. And then too many receiving, guys, there is such a thing as too many receiving blankets. Like, we had or have too many, even to this day. I literally let my daughters or my kids play with them when they're having their playtime, because I just don't know what to do with them. We got so many. And 3 is more than enough. 3 receiving blankets, man, you good. Like, you don't need all of those blankets and receiving blankets that are so many that you're left with stuff that you don't even use. They're literally some that I've never even opened. They still have their packaging and their little, like, slip thing on. So I'm gonna regift them. You know what I mean? So you don't need a lot. Just keep things minimalistic and you'll be fine. Okay. And my last point, which is too many newborn or 3 to 6 month outfits. I, after 3 kids, believe that any baby from 0 to 6 months does not need cute outfits. Honestly, guys, they outgrow them so fast. Secondly, cute outfits are just, they're not practical. Especially for me, like, I found putting them in baby grows, especially for at home, nappy changes, if they're sleeping, if it's cold, it just made sense. Obviously, I had 1 or 2 cute outfits for when we leave the house, but having too many doesn't make sense. Like I said, they outgrow them and they're not practical for when you're just at home with baby, which is what happens most of the time after you have a newborn. Not really up and down, going to a lot of places. So what I would say, for me, the best time to maybe start getting excited for outfits is from 6 months plus, because at least then they have the 6 to 12 month stage, so okay, at least 3-4 months they'll kind of wear these things. Whereas from 0 to 3, 3 to 6, nah, man. 0 to 3 is even a scam. Like, 0 to 3 lasts 1 month, and then they're on to 3 to 6, and then 3 to 6 is like 2 months, and so it just practically doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense for me. And I had really tall babies, so maybe that's why I feel this way. But yeah, personally, that's how I feel, man. And that's it when it comes to my list. Let me know below which ones you fighting me and you're like, nah, girl, I use these. Let me know on the ones that you agree with. Let me know on the ones you want to add that didn't work for you. Let's make this list for any new mom who's gonna, be having a baby and you want to know things that you want to stay away from. Let me know if this helped you. But yeah, guys, like I said, we are close to 1,000 subscribers. I beg, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, like, tell your friends, share. A lot of people who watch my videos are not subscribed, so I'm kind of touched about that. Just subscribe, please. But yeah, on that note, I thank you again so much for the support. Loving that my channel is growing, and I know that it wouldn't happen without you. But yeah, guys, enjoy your day. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I'll see you guys again on Wednesday.